Okay, we have made minimal changes to the mobile suit in between levels, but here it is, and this is the last one for the week, of course. Kind of a longish one, so I'm going to try and keep blathering the whole way through. Bear with me, please. Like I said, next week I will probably be back to getting some stages recorded with live commentary. Hoping to get together with Avocado Zal and MS Bach for some kind of gaming this week. Maybe some Gundam Senki, maybe something else. I don't know. I'll have to get in touch with them and see what they think. But like I said, when we recorded this a couple weeks ago, MS Bach very kindly, just sat and chatted with us while we played this. He's going to start streaming soon, and he's getting some stuff set up for that. So he's been, talking about ideas and stuff with us, and when he is ready to get started, I will be sure to link you guys his channel, because I think it's going to be worth checking out. Let's see, I think that was a Sinanju shield I just picked up. There are definitely some Sinanjus here, and a base jabber, which I'm going to try and grab it if I can. I think they made it a little bit harder to just kind of tackle somebody and knock them off. Oh, and a Dryson. But, yeah, I was having trouble with that. It was a little bit easier before. Sinanju parts again. And must be master grades because they're kind of tall. Okay. Spinning. Oh, wait, that guy's ready to kill. Yeah, you can't hold the button at all. It has to be a very definite tap if you want the kill stab to work when someone's reduced to just a torso. And there is, of course, once we've beaten everything around it and the shield goes down, a monolith to smash. Unfortunately, I have not left any of my EX actions charged, so... Oh, well, there's that one. And... dang, pretty good. And that's monolith number 1. I'm sure there will be many more. Unicorn Beam Saber. And let's see, more Sinanjus, more base jabbers, more Drysons. And some kind of sniper. Oh, it's a Gelgug. It's a Johnny Raiden's Gelgug with the cannon backpack up there. Ah, rare Sinanju backpack. More stabbing. Yeah, I think I mentioned in a previous video I've gotten back into Tactics Ogre for the PSP lately. That is a time sink of the highest order. And I really enjoy the game. It's well written. Yasumi Matsuno has always done interesting games. And just the problem with Tactics Ogre has always been tedium. Because it's a really well done game and the battles are fun. But there's just an awful lot of things alongside them that have to be managed kind of carefully. Yeah, if I held the square here instead of just mashing away at it, I could have grabbed that base jabber, but instead I kept attacking it like a fool. But, yeah. For example, the biggest problem with both the PlayStation/SNES and PSP versions of Tactics Ogre is level disparity. It is very difficult for the game to really deal with that. You're too many levels down, you're going to die. So, to cope with that, not a lot of options. Basically, you have to sit there and train up your people to make that work. There was a training mode in the SNES version, but it kind of had to be managed because if you left the training going, automatically, the superior level characters would kill the lower level ones, so you had to sit there and basically face them away from the lower level characters, get the higher level characters weakened to where the lower level characters could actually kill them, because you don't get a lot of experience unless you kill something, and then hope they can get the kill shot without getting countered to death. Repeat ad nauseum forever, because one of the mechanics of the original Tactics Ogre was that you could only raise one level at a time. So if you kill somebody 5 levels higher than you, 10, 15, 20, you will raise 1 level. Tactics Ogre has PSP has improved on some of that. Just it kind of has its own problems still. Levels are now figured by class, and experience is given out pretty much universally after battle. So you can have one person not really acting and still gaining experience. Problem being that they're still very fragile, so you have to protect them the whole time and or use resurrection items or spells. Resurrection items are like 2,000 goth a piece, which is not cheap even at the end of the game. Ooh, Violent custom parts. And the resurrection spell costs about 100 MP, so at the standard charge rate that can take like 5 or 10 turns. Your characters will die. It will, lose one of their 3 permanent health points in 3 of their turns. So, yeah, still not perfect. You just have to be very careful about it, and ideally get everyone taking a bunch of low-level characters at once, because to a certain extent, at least, the levels on a given map will scale. So there's ways around it. It just takes hours to get a set of classes up to the same level as your main army. So, Heart was in the right place, but it's not quite there. There's like a skill point system in the game, and equipment, which is level locked, and I feel like if they had done it slightly differently, if they had done away... Because there are ways to get permanent stat boosts in Tactics Ogre without leveling up. Enemies drop items that are cards, rather, and if you pick one up, you get a boost to one of your, 8 or 12 different statistical, ability scores, whatever. I feel like you probably could have done a version of that game that does away with levels entirely, that lets you unlock better equipment via skill points, the same way that skills are unlocked, and you could possibly have made a game without, overt levels that still has a growth curve, but one that does not completely leave out new characters. Its character growth is the hardest thing to cope with. Final Fantasy Tactics has some problems with it too at times, but it's not the worst of them for sure. For one thing, new character classes, unlike Tactics Ogre PSP, do not come in at level 1. Let's see, so I'm fighting some Endless Waltz Sandrocks here. Not Sandrock Custom, but the basic Sandrock, because the Kotoki did pre-upgrade versions for all the Endless Waltz Gundams. Monolith. Also got some Jesta parts in this round, and a couple other things I believe, which we'll hopefully cover a little bit of at the end. And I'm just spinning to kill this because all of my special attacks are depleted. I should be using my rifle probably, but it's dead. Unimportant now. Oh, blue rarity Violent Custom Arms, no problems there. And there's more Violent Customs to go with them. Also, I assume that's a Jesta. And let's see, pardon if there's some thumping, clicking there. Like I said, just holding a metal microphone stand doesn't always work out. It's not my best plan. But yeah, Tactics Ogre is an incredibly complex game. I'm just, sometimes looking at it, I'm just amazed it got made at all. Let alone twice. But, okay, so... But back to this, because this is what you're actually here to see. I thought the Violent was weird. The custom seems to, even it out a little bit, but it's not a huge difference. The arms are really bizarre. Actually, the whole thing's kind of bizarre, but, there's always those, and especially in the early Gundam series, there is definitely a Monster of the Week kind of format with the enemy mobile suits. And, of course, Jared went through so many. And most of them were ugly. What do we got? We've got another Sandrock, so I think we've pretty much got the lay of the land in terms of what Gunpla we're going to be fighting. Bad time to end my spinning, but decent enough time for burst mode, so hey. Ah, blue rarity Sandrock head. Green rarity Sandrock backpack. More spinning. And just trying to do as much damage as possible to keep the gauge from running out, but it's about to, so... Do I get... Yep, 1, 2, 3. And another set of Sandrock, I think Heat Shotels, but... Johnny Raiden Gelgug head. And... my target... Oh, I'm trying to use my sniper rifle for reasons I'm not quite aware of. But... there we go. Well, the first one. But yeah, I kept taking it into sniper mode, and I'm not quite sure what I was doing. Probably trying to aim for something specific somewhere, but it was just not working out the way I wanted it to. Killed the group, and back to the fight. Okay, got that one, and now it's time to kill the monolith. Or at least do as much damage as I can. Ah, spin charged up, that's good. Yeah, I'd say the spin does about half to 2/3 of the thing's health. And Zala's back there with a pretty good machine gun, so he's pretty well got it. And here comes an enemy player. And, oh yeah, I remember this thing. It's like a Yogg-Doga head, some kind of Zagok-type arms, and I forget what all else, but it's a pretty nice design. Oh yes, and something has gun archer parts, because I just got those. Whatever this is, I'm about to... yeah, got its super armor down, so... yeah, I think Seraphic Zero may be right. I may have to start using ranged weapons for super armor. Seems like a good use for my funnels, really. Ah, there we go. Got them before they reformed. Versago chest break parts. And more beams. There must always be more beams. Healed everybody because Zala was down by about 1/3. Started my beam spin, but since they fell, there was it was off, so canceled it. I probably could have canceled with a dash or something now that I think about it, or into another attack rather than just letting it wind down. I have to remember to try that next time, because as we've talked about before, the attacks in this are eminently cancelable. It's great. Yep. And there we go. And just some raw plastic and some other bits. Oh, no, there we go. Let's see, I'll probably look around. Yeah, and get that... there's a box to the right, I think? Or did I notice it? Or no, that wasn't a box, that was the shards of a monolith, I believe. Because they do look kind of like the gold rarity boxes that turn up sometimes. Let's see, I seem to have lost an arm. It was smart of them to put that little warning circle around a mobile suit that's lost parts, because it's hard to tell when you're in the middle of all this. Okay, I think that's the Juag that was in the middle of that fray. Pardon me. Like I said, I have trouble with the... I think that's a Kapul I was just stabbing. I have trouble with the... yeah, I think that's a Juag. I have trouble keeping the various Zeon MSV apart. But you know what surprised me, and I know I've mentioned this before, in all the years that we've gotten Gundam MSV things, more Byron custom parts, in all the years we've gotten MSV things, in the original Gundam series, there is a briefing screen that the Federation is showing Amuro and everybody of intercepted plans for Zeon amphibious mobile suits, and something that looks kind of like the GOG is on there, and then a lot of the rest has just never ever been produced in any format. It's never even, most of it, been given names, which just kind of weird. As, you know, we've got like 30,000 gems, 72,000 Zakus, you know, a bunch of Zagok and Gog and Agi variants, and all these, you know, Agi-like things that almost made it into the series, but didn't quite. But there's just these, like, unnamed things sitting there on a drawing board from 40 years ago that nobody has converted into model kits yet. It's weird. Let's see, shield is still up, so there has to be something else to fight. And now that I went too close to it, I'm... it summoned guards. I was about to... Now that I'm too close to it, I can't go get that box over there. Like, I'm just here to collect stuff, I gotta say. I'm not having a serious struggle with any of these fights yet. My Gunpla is high enough level that I'm okay, so... and I'm not taking a super ton of damage. So, yeah, it's... You know, I'm just here for the parts. I want to be able to build everything. And want to be able to build everything with as many wacky skills as possible. Ah, the beams. I like the beams. And I've got the Tomahawk Spin, but it really doesn't have enough health left to be worth it. There we go. And here come more enemies, and I will probably use the spin on them if there's enough of them. I don't think there is yet, but there will be in a second. Yep, there we go. I got knocked out of it. Nice thing being that my gauge did not deplete entirely, so it's recharging as we speak, but yeah, something managed to knock me out of that attack. Like I said, I don't... EX actions don't seem to have as much invulnerability as they used to. That's taken some getting used to. But, ow. But it's ready again, so I guess I'll just start it early and hope that I catch things as I get across the screen. I started that way too early, honestly. So, getting kind of chaotic here, but not, again, not terribly dangerous. Everybody's healthy. I probably could have saved off on that heal on Zala for another moment or two, but I just like to keep everyone's health topped off. That's just how I tend to be with games where I can group heal. Let's see, juggling that. Yeah, I think those are Juags. All the gun mobile suit names are bizarre, but especially the amphibious stuff though. They're just all... I mean, they're all just kind of sound like random sound effects when you get down to it, but especially the amphibious things. I just thought Zagok sounded like the sound of somebody getting hit in the head with a wiffle ball. I'm pretty sure it did happen to me once as a kid. It wasn't pleasant. Would have been less pleasant if it was an actual baseball, which I believe also happened to me once as a kid. But there's a reason I was not actually that big into sports as I got older. And I was relatively decent at them at a very young age, but just was not always good at the dodging part. I'm not always cognizant of where to put my face, which is why things kept hitting it. Let's see. I can't read what that is because I'm too busy juggling it, but nothing we didn't have parts for, obviously. Oh, yeah, it was a V2, wasn't it? Yeah, V2. Duh. I saw it a minute ago and forgot in the time it took me to smash it apart and start juggling it. Let's see. It's ready to kill, and... well. And now, at least I've got a couple of EXs to use on the monolith. That's something. And the beam spin, which, man, combined with what everybody else was doing, pretty solid damage. There we go. And here's another enemy player. There's actually about 10 more minutes of this. Of course, like 5 of that. Oh, it's the same guys. At least it's that same Zagok Doga thing. I think it was a Banshee backpack? Yeah, that was the Quesjagdoga head, Zgok arms, and a good rarity of them at that. And, oh, I got a new high-grade BO head in blue rarity. Naturally, it's high-grade. Everything is right now. More gun archer parts. It's just kind of weird to me. I mean, I've seen the katakana and it's accurate, but it's just weird that the same GN seems to be pronounced differently, like in 3 different ways based on the mobile suit or equipment you're talking about. The drive is the GN drive. The GN-X is the Jinx, and the GN Archer is the Gun Archer. All using the same English letters. That's just confusing. Of course, I've jokingly had the Jim versus GM argument with my friend XB for a decade now. But the Ocean dub said Jim, and that was a pretty good dub all told. And I enjoyed it, and it is also, of the 2 official dubs of the original Mobile Suit Gundam, it is the newest. Alright, on to the next area. Of course, I guess Gundam the Origin stuff may supersede it if they keep going with that long enough to get back into the regular one-year war. Let's see, spun those things to death. Domtropin legs, that's always good. That's like the little, I don't even know what they are, on the side of the Domtropin, on the side of the Domtropin feet. Filters or something. Let's see, and that was Banshee arms with the armed armor parts, I believe. Just ahead, yeah, armed armor parts for the Banshee. High-grade Zaku machine gun in rare out of nowhere. Completely and entirely out of nowhere. And let's see. Yeah, Banshee parts again. Looks like we have been shipped in a monolith, so... And a couple of master-grade Unicorn Gundams to fight. And I went immediately into burst, even though I was fighting a Banshee and not the Unicorn, so it's kind of hard to tell when you're, in the middle of fighting. The Banshee is not a problem anymore, and I got some blue Banshee feet and a purple Unicorn head. And blue Unicorn Beam Saber, green backpack. And should have done the kill shot on that instead of the 3 count, but if I was pretty sure if I didn't get the 3 count off, I wouldn't get it. Blue Rarity Beam Magnum. I've got the Tomahawk Spin, but it keeps moving away from it because it's a jerk. And then it just knocks me right out of it, just to add much insult to some injury. Let's see, I'm probably going to sneak away and go open that box I just saw to the right, because that's a thing I tend to do. But we'll see. Oh, it's in downswing, so... And I even caught it on top of the ledge, not bad. And I think that's... Oh no, there's a monolith to wreck, so... Yep, beeline for the box, and I managed to open it with my first slash, so hey! And, yep, beams. And beams. And spinning. And there we go. Forgot I had a shield on this thing. I think it's the GP01 shield. Okay, so I came in with the most points by a good margin. Oh, it's kind of up in everything's face. I got the triple Megasonic Cannon. And yes, Unicorn Beam Saber, Zeta Beam Saber, Victory, and those are all the Beam Saber types. Yeah, I got Sandrock's Heat Chotels, and just going down the list, yeah, Heat Chotels that I'll be combining, and ditching all but the highest levels of, because, man. Beam Tomahawk from the Dryson. Bunch of Brawling Hands. Probably keep them to combine them all. And ditch the lower level ones. At least I'm starting to get rares at 9. Because that'll save me a couple of steps of combining things. Man, tons of these. But, let's see. Next. Beam Magnums from the Unicorn. V2's Beam Rifle, Zaku Machine Gun, and the Giant Bazooka. Which, probably keep the level 8, ditch the rest. Unicorn Gundam Purple Rarity, 2 Blue the O's, Blue Jesta, Blue Sandrock, Green Yogg Doga in the Quest variety, 2 Byerlant heads, a White Rarity Johnny Raiden Gelgug head. It uses the fancier antenna. And yeah, some Jesta parts down there. I'm not sure there's anything under heads that I didn't get in some colorful rarity, which is good. And let's see. Oh yeah, Juag. I did not get. It is the Juag, and I did not get any green ones of that. Dryson heads or that, I think. And I'm pretty sure I didn't get Sinanju either. So Sandrock heads. And body. Unicorn, Banshee, Jesta, Byerlant, Dryson, Sandrock, Versago Chest Break, and the Kapool. Byerlant, Sandrock, Zgok, Unicorn, Banshee, Armed Armor version, more Sandrock, Gun Archer, and like that. I'm going to do through legs, and then I will probably call it for this one, and we will see you next week, because, man, this is a long list. Yeah, but I got the big punchy arms for the Banshee. Those were fun to use in the last game. I'll have to try them and see how they do here. And they've got a full Psycho frame, I think. Jesta's got a movable frame. Makes sense. And Byerlant has something about jet engines, so in the arms. Interesting. Dryson arms and Sinanju arms. Oh, and V2 arms. So nothing wrong with that. More Sandrock. Man. Yeah, just I'll have to actually count on one of these things and count how many parts I got in all. I don't think it says anywhere. I'd have to do a manual count. Legs, Banshee, Byerlant, Sinanju, Dragon Gundam, Dom Trope and Unicorn, Jesta, V2, Nobel Gundam, and that is about it. And that is going to do it for today. We'll be back Monday with more Gundam Breaker 3. So until next time, everybody take care and have fun. Later!